£80 million target to secure Manchester United move. The Rice future at West Ham is up in the air. He has been back to secure a move to Manchester United. Former Hammer Franks May Cavani has tipped the midfielder to agree about to Old Trafford to step up in his career. The 63-year-old told Football Insider him, Rice, and Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes that would be a decent deep midfield. Rice held the Three Lions with the silver medal at the Euro 2020 and was a key member of Gareth Southgate's squad that reached the last eight at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. The 24-year-old England international has been one of the best holding midfield players in the Premier League in recent years. However, this season his form has been highly inconsistent. At Old Trafford, Everton has mainly utilized the 4-2 to the 3-1 formation and this season. The likes of Casemiro and Eriksen have regularly started in the center midfield. Declan Rice current deal with West Ham will expire in 2024 and it would take a fee of around £80 million to secure his signature in the summer. In other news, the Premier League have announced that Manchester United away trip to Brighton has been postponed. The club have confirmed. This is due to Brighton and Manchester United reaching the FA Cup quarter-finals, which will now be played on the weekend on March 18th and 19th. United visit to Brighton was due to play on this date, and it was shaping up as a very inconvenient one. Days earlier, Manchester United in a Europa League action away at Real Betis. Now, instead of visiting Brighton away, United have a cap home draw against Fulham. Manchester United are set to face Real Betis in the Europa League last 16 second leg on Thursday, March 15th. Back-to-back away trips would have touched the squad, or would have had to fly back to Manchester, rest, train, and then travel down to Brighton. Facing Brighton is a tricky game as it is. They won 4-0 at the Amex last season and won 2-1 at Old Trafford early in the championship. This two-way game against Betis and Brighton would actually have been a real test, logistically tricky and demanding. It is so much better to return from Spain to home time, which United have against Fulham, rather than a long trip across England to Brighton. Fortune is favoring United in draws this season. The team could easily have been drawn away at Brighton. Manchester United will have to play the away league games at Brighton eventually, and this regimen is likely to work out fully for traveling fans. No date has yet been set for the rearranged game, but it is most likely it will end up taking place in midweek unless United somehow end up with a free weekend at some point, which doesn't seem likely. But at least they won't have to fly to Spain, back to Manchester, and down to Brighton in the space of 4 days. The game at the Amex will be a difficult game regardless, but at least it won't be scheduled days after a Thursday knockout trip to Spain. After rearranging a game hard United in general with the last victory slot in Wayne City and Arsenal games, this one seems to have helped us out. Even though Fulham will provide a challenging encounter at Old Trafford, it is a slightly more convenient one.